Hi everybody, welcome to this suggested solution video for task 1 of the census problem. This is a practice task for students studying A-level computer science, and we are focusing on object-oriented programming. So our challenge is to design the team worker class, the worker class. And each worker has a name, an ID, a number of houses visited, and a vacation indicator. So the constructor takes a name and an ID as parameters, two parameters, and sets the number of houses visited to 0 and the vacation indicator to false. So let's get on with it. I've misnamed that. So let's define our constructor method, and it takes two parameters, one being a name and the other being an ID. So let's just store that data in private class variables. And we're also going to create a variable called number of houses visited. I'm just going to reduce that a little bit to visit houses. Lazy old me. And that's set to 0. In an exam, by the way, make sure you do use the variable names that are given to you, just to make sure the examiner is satisfied you're paying attention to the question. And a vacation indicator, which is set to false. We then have to design other methods. So what I'm guilty of sometimes is doing this. And then when I try and run the program later, it tells me that there is no such method called getName. And that's because I'm putting the getName method inside the constructor method, and it's not inside the constructor method. It's a separate method. So hopefully all of this is making sense. GetID. Let's copy and paste. Get houses visited. Okay, I'll be good this time, and I will use the full name. And I called that houses. And get vacation indicator. Okay, let's copy and paste again. Get vacation indicator, and then we're just going to return that data that's stored in the object, and then we're going to visit a house. It increments the number of houses visited by 1 and sets the vacation indicator to true if, that should be if, the number of houses visited is greater than 50. So there are no parameters. We're just going to increment the number of houses visited by 1. And if that results in a number that's greater than 50, then we're going to set our vacation indicator to be true. Okay, so I think that is all of the worker class. We could test it. Let's test it. I'm going to construct a worker with a name. Why are all workers called Joe? And an ID. And let's see if he's on vacation. So we're going to print W dot. Now remember, W references a worker object, so W has access to any of the worker class methods. We're going to call getVacationIndicator. And then we're going to send him to visit more than 50 houses. So let's do that in a for loop. Let's say he visits 60 houses. So W dot visit house. So he does that 60 times, and then let's print the vacation indicator again. In fact, let's do a couple of things there. Let's use our good friend F to print out a sentence. Houses visited will show us w.get houses visited, and vacation. Will show us the vacation. So let's make a string here with the format feature of Python and see if that works. So we'll run that. Bingo! Syntax error. I always do that. What is that all about? So, he didn't visit. He's not on vacation. He visited a whole bunch of houses, and his vacation is now true. What is this all about? Get houses visited. Oh, that's a method, isn't it? Let's run that again. So we constructed him, and he didn't have a vacation. Then he visited 60 houses, and of course, then he earned his vacation.